In my darkest hours, I felt like there was no light and no God. In my darkest hours, I felt like life itself was no longer a part of me. I never knew this life could get so dark inside, while still remaining dark on the outside. I realize the light I possessed inside is what made the world light on the outside, and when something puts my light out on the inside, it only makes the darkness on the outside worse. There were thoughts of life not being worth the value when I was in my darkness. And that was the value people place on life each and every day. I'd wondered how we could be allowed to make such mistakes, that we would darken our mind and our emotions and our souls, and make the darkness inside so dark we feel insane. I never knew that so many mistakes could cause a sort of insanity and fear and terror. I'd always only known that life was dark, but to experience how dark it can be on the inside was worse than how dark it could be on the outside. I wished I had the kind of discernment to where I could see inside of others, and to not be fooled by the outside of people. And I wished that I could help the inside of others, if it needed help, once I saw the inside of someone. I would like to see the inside world of this life, and people, and push aside the outside world, because I know the outside world is a shallow perception. I allowed my own selfishness to trick me, and to allow me to believe in things that might be true by fueling my emotions and my imagination. And then my selfishness dragged me into a dark place that shattered me into a million pieces. What does it mean to embrace light when all we ever hunger for is light? Why were we made to be hungry all the time and to seek light all the time? And we know that there would never be enough light to satisfy us in this flesh. The darkness that brings anxiety and panic and confusion is never far away, and darkness is always tempting. No matter how much I know, the selfish darkness will never satisfy me. It is amazing that we seek out darkness for any satisfaction, and when we find darkness, we relish in it. Until we get too much darkness, and then we despise the darkness we relished in. I find it amazing that we were ever created to be amused by darkness, and to love darkness, and to feel a need for darkness to be happy. And that need for darkness is our own personal selfishness to be happy. Happiness can always be selfish. And since happiness can always be selfish, it is our happiness that we have to be aware of. Our happiness can slowly drag us into a dark place that we never knew existed. The temptations of all the pleasures in this life are usually selfish temptations to be happy. And the temptations of this life are the temptations that sometimes we feel we cannot live without. And that is what drags us even further into the darkness. In my darkest hour, I pleaded to God to save me from my self-created, selfish darkness. I still travel the road out of darkness to this very day. It is a road back to the light.